My mother has been dead for 6 months. I signed the papers, I picked the urn, I listened to the doctors explain things in careful, professional voices that left no room for misunderstanding. Brain hemorrhage. Sudden. No pain, they said. I held her hand after everything was already finished. That matters because I need you to understand this isn't denial. She's gone. I live alone now in a 1-bedroom apartment I can barely afford. I moved here after the funeral because staying in our old place felt like suffocating. Every corner held a version of her I couldn't talk to anymore. I told myself a clean start would help. It didn't. I keep my phone on silent most of the time, not because I'm busy, but because I hate notifications. Ever since she died, every vibration makes my chest tighten. Some part of me still expects her name to appear on the screen. Which is why I didn't notice the first voicemail right away. It came in at 3:07 a.m. No missed call, no ring, just a voicemail notification when I woke up for work. The number was hers. Same contact photo, same name, same everything. I assumed it was a glitch. Carriers recycle numbers. Spam callers spoof contacts all the time. I deleted it without listening. The second voicemail came 2 nights later, 3:11 a.m. Same number. This time, curiosity won. I played it while standing in my kitchen, coffee brewing behind me. At first, there was just breathing. Slow, careful, like someone trying not to be heard. Then my mother's voice. Not strong, not clear. A whisper, frayed at the edges. "You left the bathroom light on," she said. I turned. The bathroom light was on. My stomach dropped so fast I felt dizzy. The message ended there. No static, no distortion, just silence. I called the number immediately. It rang once, then went to voicemail. Her voicemail greeting. The one she recorded years ago, joking about never answering unknown numbers. I hung up and stood there shaking, trying to explain it away. Coincidence, lucky guess, someone messing with me who knew personal details. But I hadn't told anyone about the bathroom light. I hadn't even noticed it myself until she said it. I started sleeping with the lights on after that. The third voicemail came the next night, 3:09 a.m. I didn't listen to it right away. I sat on my bed staring at the phone, heart pounding, already knowing it would be her. When I finally pressed play, she whispered, "You're sitting on the edge of the bed. You always do that when you can't sleep." She was right. I was. My skin crawled. I looked around the room, half expecting to see her standing in the doorway. The apartment was empty, locked, silent. I checked the vents, the windows, the closet. Nothing. The messages kept coming. Not every night. That would have been easier, predictable. Instead, they came randomly, sometimes 2 nights in a row, sometimes after days of silence. Always between 3 and 3:20 a.m. Always whispering. Always describing things I was doing in real time. "You're pacing now. You stopped the microwave early. You're standing too close to the window." I never heard movement in the apartment, never felt watched. But the details were too precise, too intimate. I went to my carrier. They told me the calls weren't coming through their network at all. No routing data, no origin point. I changed my number. The voicemails followed me. Same voice, same whisper, same mother. The first time she mentioned something I hadn't noticed yet, I nearly threw the phone across the room. "You should move your chair," she said softly. "You're blocking the door." I looked up. My chair was slightly out of place, angled toward the hallway, not where I usually left it. I moved it without thinking. That night, the voicemail came earlier than usual. 3:02 a.m. Her voice sounded strained, urgent. "Honey, you need to listen to me now." I stood frozen in the middle of my living room, phone pressed to my ear. "I can see the thing behind you," she said. The message cut off. I didn't turn around. I don't know how long I stood there, staring at the wall, every muscle locked, waiting for something to touch me. The phone buzzed again. Another voicemail. Same number. This time, she sounded scared. "It doesn't like that you heard me, and it's closer than last time." I didn't turn around. I know that sounds deliberate, like some brave decision, but it wasn't. I physically couldn't make myself move. My muscles locked in place the way they do when you miss a step on the stairs and your body freezes before the fall. The apartment was silent. No breathing behind me, no footsteps, no shift in the air, just the low hum of the refrigerator and the faint ringing in my ears. I stayed like that until my legs started to shake. When I finally forced myself to turn, there was nothing there. No shadow, no shape, no distortion in the room. The hallway was empty. The door to my bedroom was open the way I always leave it. The bathroom light was still on. I shut it off and locked myself in my bedroom. I didn't sleep. Around dawn, I replayed the voicemail again, slower this time. I listened for background noise, distortion, anything that would suggest it was recorded somewhere else. There was none. But there was something else. Between her words, buried low under the whisper, I heard another sound. Breathing. Not hers. Too deep. Too slow. Like someone standing very close to the phone, trying not to be noticed. That was the first time I cried. Not loud, not dramatically, just sitting on the edge of the bed with my face in my hands, shaking, feeling stupid and small for still wanting her to be real. I went to the police later that morning. I didn't tell them I thought my dead mother was watching me. I told them someone was stalking me and spoofing her number, that someone was inside my apartment. They checked the locks, the windows, the fire escape. Everything was secure. No signs of forced entry. No hidden cameras they could find. One of them asked if I was sleeping. I lied and said yes. Before they left, my phone buzzed. A voicemail. Right in front of them. Same number. I didn't play it. They exchanged a look that said more than any words could. The kind that quietly redefines you in someone else's mind. After they left, I played the message. Her voice was softer this time, almost tired. "You shouldn't have brought strangers here," she whispered. "It doesn't like them." My blood went cold. That night, I tried something different. I left my phone in the living room and went into the bedroom, shutting the door. I sat on the bed with the lights off, forcing myself not to check the time. At 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. I didn't hear it. I heard her anyway, from inside the apartment. Not loud, not clear, just a whisper slipping through the walls. "You're in the bedroom, facing the door." I squeezed my eyes shut and pressed my hands over my ears. The whisper continued. "It's standing in the hallway," she said. "I don't think it knows I can see it yet." The bedroom door creaked. Not opening, just settling. My phone buzzed again. I didn't need to look to know it was another voicemail. Her voice shook now. "Please," she whispered. "When it moves, don't react. It watches your face." Something shifted outside the door. A soft scrape against the floor. Slow, careful. Like a foot adjusting its position. The whisper came one last time, so faint I almost missed it. "It's learning how you breathe." The phone vibrated again. This time, the voicemail didn't stop. The line stayed open, and underneath my mother's breathing, I heard something else inhale. Closer than it should have been. I didn't answer the voicemail. I couldn't. The screen stayed lit on my nightstand, the call timer still counting up like someone on the other end was waiting for me to say hello. I watched the seconds tick by until the display finally went dark on its own. The breathing didn't stop. It wasn't loud. It wasn't even threatening. Just steady, patient, close enough that I could feel it more than hear it, like pressure against my awareness. I stayed perfectly still. Minutes passed, or hours. I don't know. Time stopped behaving normally after that. Eventually, the breathing faded, thinning out until it was impossible to tell if it was really gone or if my ears had just given up. When the sun finally came up, I was still sitting upright in bed, muscles aching like I'd run a marathon. I skipped work, again. I spent the morning tearing the apartment apart. I checked vents, outlets, the space above the cabinets. I pulled furniture away from the walls, looking for holes, crawl spaces, anything that could explain how someone could be inside without me knowing. There was nothing, but I kept finding small signs that I hadn't noticed before. The rug in the hallway was slightly off-center, like it had been nudged that a careful foot. One of the dining chairs had a faint smear of dust on the backrest at shoulder height. The shower curtain was damp, even though I hadn't used it. None of it was dramatic enough to prove anything. All of it was intimate enough to feel wrong. That afternoon, I went through my old voicemails, the ones before she died. Her real voice, clear, solid, grounded in a body that needed air and pauses. I compared them side by side. The new messages had the same cadence, the same habits, the way she lingered on certain words, the way she softened her voice when she said my name. But there were differences. She never used contractions anymore. She never laughed, and she always sounded like she was whispering from very close to something she didn't want to wake. The next voicemail came early, 2:41 a.m. I was still awake, sitting on the couch with every light on, back pressed to the wall. My phone buzzed in my hand instead of on the table. I answered it. I don't know why. Maybe some part of me needed it to be real, needed to hear her say my name again, even like this. "Mom?" I whispered. There was a long pause, Then her voice, strained and urgent. "You shouldn't talk out loud anymore." My throat closed. "Where are you?" Another pause, longer this time. "I'm not where I was," she said carefully. "I'm not where you think I am either." "What is it?" I asked. "What's in my apartment?" I heard her inhale. "It moved in when you did. You gave it shape." The lights flickered, just once. I felt it then. Not a touch, not a presence, a shift, like the space behind me had decided it was occupied. "Don't turn around," she whispered. "It knows your habits. It's been practicing." My heart hammered so hard I thought I might pass out. "What practicing?" Standing still, breathing shallow, watching without blinking. The call crackled. Her voice dropped even lower. "I can see it clearly now," she whispered. "It's very proud of how well it's doing." Something warm brushed the back of my neck. Not a hand, a breath. My phone buzzed again. Another voicemail coming in while the call was still connected. Her voice sharpened, panicked for the first time since this started. "It figured out how I'm watching, and it doesn't like being seen." The lights went out. The apartment plunged into darkness so complete it felt heavy. I heard movement behind me, slow, careful, like someone afraid of making a mistake. Then my phone speaker crackled, and her voice came through one last time. "You have to leave before it learns how to sound like me." Something leaned close to my ear, and in my mother's exact voice, it whispered my name. I ran. I don't remember standing up or grabbing my keys. I remember the door slamming open and the cold hallway air hitting my face like water. I didn't turn on lights. I didn't look back. I took the stairs 2 at a time, heart punching against my ribs so hard it hurt. Behind me, something moved. Not fast, not chasing, keeping pace. I made it outside and kept going until my lungs burned and my legs gave out. I slept in my car with the seat pushed back, phone powered off, hands shaking until morning came. For 2 days, nothing happened. No voicemails, no whispers, no sense of being watched. I started to believe distance mattered, that whatever had been learning me was bound to the apartment. I went back on the 3rd day. I needed clothes, documents, proof that my life still existed somewhere solid. The apartment looked untouched, lights off, air stale, quiet in the way empty places get when they've been waiting. I moved fast, bag, closet, drawer, no pauses. My phone stayed off. That was my mistake. I was halfway through the bedroom when I heard it. My mother humming. Low, familiar. The tune she used to hum while folding laundry when she thought no one was listening. It came from the living room. I stood frozen, my bag slipping from my hand. "I told you not to come back," she said softly. I didn't answer. "I tried to warn you," she continued. "It was watching how you react to my voice, measuring the pauses, the breathing." Something shifted in the hallway, careful, deliberate. "You gave it permission when you listened. You made it real." My phone vibrated in my pocket, powered off. I pulled it out anyway. One new voicemail. No number, no timestamp. I didn't play it. The humming stopped. Footsteps crossed the living room, slow, heavy, learning how to carry weight. "I can't see it anymore," my mother whispered from the bedroom speaker. "That means it can see me." The phone screen lit up by itself. The voicemail began to play. Her voice came through clearly now, strong, confident. Too confident. "It's okay," she said gently. "I'm right behind you." Warm breath touched my ear. Not whispered, spoken, in perfect rhythm with the voice on the phone. I ran again, left everything behind. I never went back. I live somewhere else now. New place, new locks, different layout. I don't keep mirrors near doorways. I don't answer unknown numbers. I don't listen to voicemails anymore. At night, I sit very still, because sometimes, just before 3 a.m., my phone lights up without sound. No notification, just the screen, and a message that never finishes loading. Mom is recording. I don't delete it. I don't open it. I just hold my breath and hope that whatever learned my mother's voice hasn't figured out yet how to sound like me.